I was full of emotional flesh, feeling I needed to vent. When in reality I was battling and losing my test. I was bruising, I guess, the tainted ego I possessed. The spirit I was possessed. With anger I was a mess. Now stress is just a second cousin of madness. See, they both go hand in hand like tears and sadness. Fear can grab this, and then emotions will choke you. Put you on a 20-mile high emotional roller coaster, man. It feels like boulders that you're trying to swallow. Just a simple wrong move and then rage would follow. It's a shame while I go into a tantrum, feeling like a real man is one who's bold and stands up. I thought crying wasn't real, thought I needed to man up. But that's what plagues society, and we need to stand up for what's right. Every dispute ain't an excuse to fight. I used to use street violence as an excuse in life. Well, half the rappers in the game use that excuse to write. But they got you fooled, they got you listening, right? But that's what happens when you edify a person packing tools with ice. But anyway, I used to listen to that music every day, telling me to bust his head and bruise it in many ways. I thought that I was winning, but I was losing in many ways. The war over my soul was forfeited over to rage. Man, I remember the change way back in 8th grade when DMX's Dark in Hell came out and I pressed play. And then I must pray for whoever else heard it and polluted their soul. I think I caught a bit of danger and spiraled out of control. See, that was the hardest thing to get up out of my soul. I felt like a man with no arms climbing out of a hole. God made me in pure love, anger broke me out of that mold. See, I had a precious treasure, the devil chunked me out of that gold. But now I write songs about the peace of God, but I still see that holding on to that peace is hard. I gotta utilize my internal peace of God so I can really walk this walk and do a decent job. I'm leaking, y'all. Now I'm transparent like windows. I used to close the door to sin and then open the window. I traded in my purity, became a borderline nympho. Me and the devil used to be closer than kinfolk. I didn't know the voice of God until I heard him speak. My mind's tweaked, see my life is a sick joke. Everything registered late like students with no loans. I felt like a breadwinner trying to be proven with no home. Woo! What's the use? I had anger as a tool to intimidate the innocent, breaking all the rules. Well, I talked things out, man, that was a drag. When the fast way to react is to quickly spaz. I'll get in your personal space and hurt you with haste. With no conscience, to be honest, I was a worsening case of the virus or the syndrome or whatever you call it. When you're so big and black, you think you sprint while you're crawling. See, this is a deception when anger seen as a weapon. To yourself, it's self-destructive, self-combustion in seconds. See, I could feel the presence of a foreign force bubbling up inside my head from my feet on the floor. I used to lock myself in rooms, you could feel the heat from the door. And to think this all started is just a little young boy. See, little did I know, me and Granddad were bookends. Two angry black men just alike like Jay and Big in Brooklyn. See, my grandfather was a fighter, drank as hard as can be. And apparently this bad apple didn't fall far from the tree. See, it didn't start here, it was passed on to me. But I must kill this choking disease so my children can breathe. See, it didn't start here, it was passed on to me. But through God, I've killed this choking disease so now my children can breathe. Anger.